You're gonna love this, okay? Because that's
What you
right.
got? What you
It
got?
comes out of you know how we love to do things in Detroit, Rico.
Mhm.
That's right. What's
Shout out to the
behind the
D.
rise in marijuana dispensary break-ins? And we got a video too, Adam. So let me know when you're ready to prove that.
Well, new this morning, there is an alarming trend. Break-ins at marijuana dispensaries, not only across America, but here in Metro Detroit, too.
Now, in the last 2 weeks alone, thieves targeted 2 marijuana dispensaries on Detroit's east side in the middle of the night.
7 Action News reporter Peter Maxwell spoke with a local marijuana dispensary employee who says more needs to be done to protect employees, customers, and the cash.
I'm at Live Cannabis right off of Jefferson and Navajo, and right here on the ground is shattered glass. And
Looks like
it just
hail.
shows the latest break-in attempt by an organized crime ring here in Metro Detroit, targeting dispensaries like this one, all for cash and weed.
I don't know if there's going to be a way to stop this, and I don't know where it does stop.
It's a concern echoed by many workers in Michigan's marijuana industry. This one didn't want to be identified, but does want change to protect these businesses.
They're being watched. It's an organized group that is testing them. You know, they're doing several things to kind of see what response.
Detroit police tell me since January, there have been a total of 20 incidents involving marijuana dispensaries, 16 burglaries, and 4 larcenies. Live Cannabis on Jefferson has been hit twice in 2 weeks. I obtained surveillance video showing armed suspects casing the building and even trying to break into the back door. Then, on Wednesday morning at 5:30, thieves ripped the door off the hinges and tried going through the drywall to gain access. We spoke to the building's owner, who wished to remain anonymous.
They break into the door and they pull up the scissor lift door, 2 of them. They try to get into the dispensary from that vacant unit.
Cannabis Regulatory Agency Director Brian Hanna says without access to traditional banking and regular credit cards, dispensaries are a prime target for thieves.
We've seen it time and time again in this state, but it's a national issue. Anywhere you have regulated cannabis.
The dispensaries have to rely on local banks, credit unions, and unmarked armored trucks to transport their cash. Hanna and industry professionals are urging the federal government to pass the Safe Banking Act, which would allow marijuana retailers access to federal banking institutions. Workers agree.
There has to be an escalation of force, in a sense of there needs to be more or less a show of force in that we can guard our place.
In Detroit, I'm Peter Maxwell, 7 Action News.
Well, what do you guys think about this? All the crime action going on in Detroit, Michigan with all these guys. What is happening? What is happening?
Well, I can tell you because I've lived in Detroit. I actually went to graduate school in Detroit at Wayne State University. That is particularly a terrible neighborhood over there. It's just always been very, very ridden with crime, that area of Detroit. Now, that said, I mean, there's a huge, again, commercial incentive, I think, when people have that kind of money for these, robberies and shit to happen. We've seen this in Oakland and in San Francisco. And yeah, it's not, isolated to certainly this out in Detroit. It's just a new phenomena out there. But that area of East Detroit has always kind of been historically known for kind of like high crime area on Jefferson. But
Rico,
that said,
safe banking. Like, it's not safe banking.
it is safe banking.
It's economic depression.
It's all
right?
safe.
It's
I
all
used
safe
to-
banking. Rico, I have a
I used
question
to
for you.
consult with.
Go ahead, Doc. Go ahead,
Let
Dr.
me
Martin.
just relate a quick story if I could. I used to consult with a group that used to do that transaction over at Harborside. So they would go to Harborside and do I think they would bring product from production to the dispensary, and then in that same armored truck pick up all the cash and then bring it back. Where are they bringing cash to? In the middle of the night in Oakland. It's like there's no safe place to do this. You couldn't do this in the middle of the desert and it'd be safe. So wherever that's being done, you have to have armed guards all around. It looks like a prison estate. Be able to just make that transaction and do it safely. And then all they were doing is they were actually putting it into a double reinforced shipping container because they couldn't bring it to a bank. You know, it's just it's ripe crime opportunity. So I just wanted to share that.
So Rico,
Yep.
I'm shocked. Okay, in the video, maybe you picked up on this, maybe you didn't, but I'm really impressed with how fast that this dispensary got their windows replaced and the whole little stickers back on the window, because
That's the D, man.
because
Big shout out to
he was
Detroit.
standing out there and it didn't look like anything, and like, in all honesty, I don't even know if that was actually the windows that were broken, because those little pieces that he said were glass to me look like hail.
You know what is the automotive manufacturing is it still the automotive manufacturing capital of the world? I don't think Detroit is, but they're so
Detroit
used
used
to
to
replacing
be.
car windows and shit out there. Out
Well,
there. They
now
finally
it's the greater suburbs of Detroit. So the white flight left Detroit long time ago, and now all the suburbs, like there is a huge GM plant going in to make electric
the
cars
Detroit
up
diaspora, if you will.
where the Palace of Auburn Hills used to be, but now you're beyond like Pontiac. I mean, it's like white blight or you kind of like everything out in the suburbs now, not necessarily in
Auburn
downtown
Hills and
Detroit.
yeah.
That's right. In fact, the
I think
Palace of
that
Auburn Hills, where the Pistons used to play, Rico,
oh
that's
yeah.
leveled, man. They took that
Yeah.
building down, man.
Yeah,
They
Crazy
took
when
it
they
down,
played.
man.
we played in the Motor City Bowl, the Motor City Bowl, back in 2003, on Ford Field, and I gotta admit, it was the most depressing Christmas I've ever spent. It was in Detroit on Christmas, and back then when I was 19 years old, the best part about Detroit to me was Windsor, Canada.
Mhm.
I
Oh
love
no,
Detroit.
you got to have a lot of love for
That's
Detroit. There's a
funny.
lot of great culture in Detroit. There's great music in Detroit.
Now the
Motown was
D is
started
fucking
in
dope.
Detroit. Okay,
Oh
so
yeah.
just
Oh yeah.
the contribution of Motown to Americana gets Detroit off the hook.
It's
But I think
unparalleled.
in a lot
What
of
about the
cities that
motor
kind of
industry? What
economically
about the automotive
That's what
industry?
a lot
we're
of
talking about.
cities that
We talk about that.
economically fail, what happens, Rico, is there's an artist renaissance that's happening in Detroit. Detroit's got a lot of great energy and a lot of great vibes to it, and we shouldn't dump on Detroit. It's a great, great
Well,
city in a great, great state.
that's not happening in San
Yeah.
Francisco or Oakland yet, Dr. Mark.
Yeah, I just remember you remember those default pictures they have on the bars in America that say like under 21, don't even try it. Get in here with a fake ID. They had the same ones, but it said under 19, don't even try it over in Windsor. And we had damn good times on a strip club, getting bringing stuff back over the bridge back
Oh
then.
boy.
Be-
Oh man.
Yeah, one quick note on this, Jason. Like, safe banking ain't got shit to do with this. I'm
It
tired of
has
hearing
everything
this.
to do with it. It has
Time
everything
and
to
time
do with
again. Does the safe banking have anything to do with YSL store in Beverly Hills being broken into? Does safe banking have anything to do with Targets being ran up on by kids every single day, or Apple stores? No, it has nothing to do with anything. It is lack of economic opportunity for a lot of these young people, and that's why they're breaking into shit and they're stealing whatever they can.
That's gonna be a
Period.
That's gonna be a great soundbite for you, Rico.
Safe banking has nothing to do with people breaking in and stealing shit.
It 100% does. Pass safe banking already.
Safe banking. Bring a throwback for y'all right there.
Yes.